Hello and welcome back to Film Posers. My name is Josie Melendez and I am accompanied by my co-host Gabriela Burgos, and as part of our Sunday's coverage, today we are going to be talking about The Cow Who Sang a Song into the Future, or La Vaca que Cantó una Canción sobre el Futuro. Televisa presenta. This is a film directed by Francisca Alegría, and it follows in a river in the south of Chile, fish are dying due to pollution from the nearby cellulose factory. Amid their floating bodies, long deceased Magdalena bubbles up to the surface, gasping for air, bringing with her old wounds and a wave of family secrets. This film deals with the loss of a loved one. It deals with sexuality and gender orientation. It deals, of course, with political corruption and, of course, Latin America, magical realism, and it just mixes everything that makes up Latin American culture and all those aspects that make up just Latin American stories. So I think it's the epitome of Latin American storytelling. And I will say this, it is a film that you might not get at first. I definitely admire it for what it set out to do, though I do feel like I will need more rewatches to fully grasp what Francisca Alegría wants us to see and wants us to understand. But at first glance, at first watch, there is definitely a lot of beauty to it and a lot of depth to it, and just the family dynamics are very admirable.
Viva Latinoamérica! Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. It's weird, and I like weird shit, so of course I liked it. And there's also a lot of cows, which as soon as the cows appeared, it's really a representation of a culture. You know, like Latin America cinema focuses so much on nature and family, and this is just the perfect combination of it. You know, for the first 15 minutes, it's just nature shots and Magdalena wandering around into this world that's so different than when she left it. And it's just so fascinating because, you know, there are moments where nothing is happening, but a lot is happening because a lot of it is like this internal journey.
Yeah, the film is very emotionally charged, and of course, Magdalena is played by Mía Maestro, which some may know her from Twilight, Breaking Dawn, as Gabriela pointed out while we were watching it.
She's from Twilight.
But she was really great, and she really sold this aspect of rediscovering life and just the pleasures and pain of being alive, and how everyone around her rediscovers this as well.
Yeah, I really like that, you know, you think that someone coming back to life, you immediately think that it's a horror film, but it's nothing like that. It's really just she came back to life to help her family process what had happened. And I think it's very powerful that that's what ends up being. It's just a family coming to terms with this grief that they have been experiencing for years.
Because it was an unexpected death, and some believed it to be a suicide. So to see her come back, sometimes you also would think that assume that maybe it will be a positive reaction. While you are terrified, of course, because someone that has passed away has come back, and that's terrifying. But you might also, at least because of that magical realist aspect and because of that grief, sometimes you may wonder, hey, maybe they'll be happy that this person is back. But ultimately, it does unearth so much pain, and all those wounds that were sealed, all those bandages were just ripped off, and they had to go back on their grieving process and start over. But this time, at least, there seems to be an end to that process.
Yeah. And also, a lot of people might think that this movie doesn't make sense, but that's why it relies on the magical realism. That's very dominant in Latin American culture. It's not supposed to make sense. You're supposed to go with it.
Yeah, because again, for people that don't know, magical realism is essentially, again, it's not what. So where it differentiates from fantasy is that the rules of the world don't have to be explained. Simply, these magical elements happen for the sake of progressing a story, and oftentimes magical realism exists to counter, argue, or fight against an oppressive force. And in this case, there was that criticism to pollution in Chile, and just how political corruption can cause nature to suffer at the hands of these people falling for greed and power So that is also another aspect that was discussed a lot, especially because the cows were part of a business, and then we see how the business is disturbed because of this new presence, because of this mother coming back. And there's also the aspect of the bees, that the bees disappear, which is something that we've seen recently a lot in the media and in the exploration of how bees disappearing is a case for the earth dying. So there is a lot of instances and discussions of death and grief and just life in general. It was just a really, it's like when you put it, like talking about it now, it's a simple film to describe, but of course there is a lot of abstractness there.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack in it, and it's not gonna be for everyone. A lot of people are not gonna understand it, and that's.
I'll accept I was lost too, but there are aspects that clearly I got, and I do, and like the important thing is that if you go into this and if you don't get it the first time, please try again, because I know I will. There are still a lot of aspects that I need to connect with and revisit, but the essential part of it, the central focus is so beautiful, because again, it's about family, it's about rediscovering ourselves, and it's about accepting each other for who we are, and I just think that's beautiful.
Yeah, it was a lovely film about all the messages that I wanted to bring across. It was very unexpected. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, so we highly recommend The Cow Who Sang a Song into the Future. We will let you know when this gets distribution, because I hope it does, and it will. If you'd like to keep up with other Sundance coverage, please make sure to follow us at Film Posers on all our social media platforms. Please make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And that's all for this video. Again, thank you for watching, and remember, we're all film posers. Bye.
Bye.